Steve, what did you just think of the energy from the beginning? Could you tell maybe your guys didn't really have it, or was it other things in your mind right at the start?
Yeah, I thought the Kings were the aggressor from the start, putting a lot of pressure on us defensively, and we didn't execute early in the game. There were 4 or 5 plays early where we just took quick shots or didn't pass the ball to the open guy. And I think at halftime we had 8 assists. So we just never got our rhythm. We never got into our game. But I give Sacramento the credit for that. They came out with more force and more energy, and they executed better. And so the right team won. That's for sure. They came in and earned the victory. And now we got to regroup and get ready for Game 7. Is there a reverb on this?
Yeah, just push it back.
Go ahead.
They changed up their rotation, went smaller. How did that impact the game?
Well, they had momentum already before they went small, just from the force that they were playing with and our being in a rush offensively, taking quick shots. So I thought, even though it was we were ahead at the end of the first quarter by 2, it didn't feel great. You could kind of sense that they were getting better shots than we were, and they were putting more pressure on us defensively. So, but it definitely helped them. It was a great adjustment by Mike to go small and to get more space in the half court and open up the floor a little bit. And they were able to make 17 threes tonight, and I don't think they've made that many in the series. So they obviously, having lost 3 in a row, felt the need to make a shift, and that was their big move tonight, and I think it really paid off.
Steve, Jordan obviously had the ankle issues going on earlier in the series, but how would you kind of assess his performance since?
Yeah, Jordan never really got going tonight, unfortunately. He got a little frustrated early. He had a couple plays where he didn't get calls, and he was trying to attack but couldn't quite shake free. So just a frustrating night for him. But it was a poor night for all of us, including me. We always say we win together, we lose together, and this was a team effort that includes players and coaches, and the Kings outplayed us, outcoached us, deserved to win.
Steve, just how disappointing emotionally is it? You get the win on the road you knew you had to get. You can clinch here. You rarely lose when you can clinch at home. And knowing what you've got if you lose, what's your disappointment level? What do you think disappointment level is just in that locker room?
Everybody's down right now, of course. The game just ended. This is all part of it. We've been through everything. We've won a Game 7 on the road before in the playoffs. We know we can do it, but we've got to regroup and fill up the cup and get our energy ready for Sunday afternoon.
Going back to Tim's first question, just kind of a focus and energy to start the game. I think heading into Game 5, you said if we weren't locked in, something was wrong. So do you think that it was really just Sacramento, is their aggression taking you out of it, or was there something wrong in not being able to really lock in for this potential closeout?
No, I think I talked before the game how there's a different energy to every game in a series. There's a different psychology to it, and I talked to the team yesterday about how I would expect a different Sacramento team tonight, a looser one, a more aggressive one, because that's how you play when you're facing elimination. And, Game 5, we were the aggressor. We had won 2 in a row. I felt like kind of the emotion favored us in that one. And, I talked about with our team about, be ready. These guys are coming after us, and they did. And they just outplayed us. There's sometimes... this is what happens. This is the NBA. Everybody's got great players. Sacramento's had a hell of a year. So you got to win the game, and they came in and won the game.
Steve, do you think the quicker turnaround between Games 5 and 6 affected your team? And you have less than 48 hours before tip-off for Game 7. Is that a concern?
Well, we'll be ready for Game 7. It doesn't matter. Like, you can, look at everything and make excuses and say, well, we didn't have this or didn't have. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is going out there and doing it. They were the aggressor for sure. They had more juice, more energy, and so we gotta make sure that we're the team that has that on Sunday.
We saw Monk and Fox get penetration early in the series, and maybe some of it was cut off. What happened with them? Did was it just your guys getting beat off the dribble most of the time?
Well, that was part of their strategy, going small, opening up the floor a little bit more. So they had more space to work with, and we did not respond very well. Our defense was not very sound, during some of those stretches. So we'll watch the tape and figure out what we can do better.
How big a problem was Draymond's foul trouble?
Well, it was an issue, and yet I felt good going into halftime, only down 7, considering the circumstances. Maybe it was 8, I think 7, and that he was able to play and make an impact in the second half. So I thought we withstood his foul trouble early, but never really found our rhythm either. So it played a part, but again, that's part of it.
Steve, you talked after Game 5 saying that, basically, if we rebound and take care of the basketball, we'll be fine. Were you a little surprised that you didn't really dominate in either area or do well in either area?
Well, I mean, that's the series, right? So they had 18 offensive boards, and we had 19 turnovers that they turned into 23 points. So, but they earned that. They earned that with their defense, and we did not execute very well in those areas. So we paid the price. Thanks.
Kevon, just energy and focus-wise, what went wrong?
I thought we played hard, but we didn't play smart. We didn't execute our game plan that we needed to do to win. All the small things, getting back in transition, the box outs, turnovers, different things like that. We didn't execute.
Steve Kerr said that you guys talked about, this Kings team is going to be so hungry, season on the line, nothing to lose, really warned you about the aggression they would be playing with. Did you guys feel ready to handle that, or were you a little bit caught off guard?
I think we felt ready to, for the aggression and for the force that they was going to play with, but I just think we didn't play smart. We didn't execute the things that we know we needed to do. I felt we was playing hard. We played with the right intention, but we just didn't execute and have focus throughout the whole game.
Kevon, over here? Yeah. How surprised are you, given the way you guys have played in this building this year, how surprised are you that you didn't play smart, you didn't find a way to get that second half rally that you often do here?
I would say, it's a little surprising, but they're a good team, and they brought it to us. They made some adjustments. We know we can play better, but luckily we got one more chance to go there and win, and we didn't take care of business here, but we know we can win there, so we got to go back to their house.
Kevon, Kings went small tonight. How much do you think that impacted the game for you guys?
I think it affected it some, just because it was kind of a new lineup that we haven't seen this series, and kind of had to make some adjustments how we was going to guard it and guard the pick and roll, different things like that. We had been, playing a certain way the whole series, so it took some adjustment, some time to get used to. Something that we got to watch film and see how we want to execute better against the small lineup. But I think we can make the adjustment.
Kevon, you could see you talking with Jordan, Draymond talking with Jordan sometimes during timeouts. What's the message for him to kind of get a quick change, especially mentally, with Game 7 so quickly around the corner?
We just want him to be himself, go out there, be aggressive, play his style of basketball. We're going to support him, keep playing hard. He struggled a little bit tonight, but we know what he's capable of. We know he's mentally tough. He can bounce back. That's what we expect from him.
Luna, how do you feel like you guys have been handling some of the foul calls as far as what you guys might perceive as no calls or their calls, or just managing the frustration of the whistles?
I think for the most part, this whole series, I think we did a pretty good job. Today some of the tempers flared a little bit, but I think overall we've been doing a pretty good job. They've been letting us play a little bit, so after we got used to that, I think we've been pretty locked in and doing a better job. We've been doing a good job not putting them on the free throw line, and but I think sometimes we just complain a little bit tonight, but overall I think we're doing a good job.
Kevon, with the Game 7 coming up so quickly, quick turnaround, what changes in terms of preparation and the kind of conversations you guys have for an elimination game?
I know I don't want to say we're going to treat it exactly the same, but we're going to watch a lot of film, get some rest, and get out there and get ready to play. When it's a short turnaround like it is, there ain't too much you can do. We played this team 6 times already, so we know what they're going to do. We know what to expect. You got to go out there and execute, and that's it.
Cool. Great. The 4 guys up here.
Clay, after Game 5, you guys obviously were feeling good. You'd won a road game for 28th straight time. What's the level of disappointment to not finish this off at home, knowing you got a quick turnaround for Game 7? It's on the road again. What's the emotion right now?
Well, when I said that was the best win of the season on Game 5, this is probably the worst loss of the season. But there's no time to hang our heads. I didn't play very well tonight. 3 turnovers, minus 28 is awful. Luckily for us, we still have another crack at it, and I still have absolute belief in this team that we can go get it done on the road. It will be a tall task, but we are up for it, and I know we will respond.
Clay, I have 2 questions for you. The first, Steve talked about how he was really trying to harp on just be ready for the level of aggression that the Kings were going to be playing with, the desperation. Do you feel that you guys were ready for that?
I don't think so. We let them get out to an 8-0 lead, and we had a lot of miscommunication in transition, too many easy layups for them. They beat us up on the boards. So it's up to us to go to Sacramento and do everything we did tonight, but opposite. And I know we will respond. I just know this team. I know these guys. I've played at the highest level with them, and I know what we're capable of, and we will respond like the champions we are come Sunday.
My second question, as a fellow shooter, as a mentor to a young guy like Jordan, what do you tell him, when he's having a game like this where it's just not falling?
We've all been there. I've had terrible slumps during the playoffs, Olympics, at the highest level. Jordan's only 23 years old. We lose as a team, we win as a team. So it wasn't on just JP tonight. He can come out and get 30 effortlessly on Sunday. So he just got to keep his confidence up. He's a great player, and he helped us win a championship last year. And if we want to do that again, he will do the same this year. So it's up to us to come in with the right mindset on Sunday and empty the clip.
Clay, the energy level seemed kind of low in the building with the team, and I'm just wondering, do you think it had anything to do with the time of the game, the quick turnaround? Is there anything you can do to combat that? You have less than 48 hours turnaround this time.
Yeah, just realize that we're trying to defend our throne, and we're human. We've had plenty of bad losses on this dynastic run we've been on, but this is not the 4th loss of a series. This is the 3rd, and it's first to 4th. So we're right there, and we know we can go get one on the road. And as a basketball player, especially an NBA player, you cherish moments like the one we have coming up as far as a Game 7 in the playoffs. I know I will, and I know the rest of the guys will.
Clay, how would you kind of just summarize how big Moses has been off the bench so far in this series? He's seemingly ready whenever his number's called.
He's been incredible. His energy, his rebounding, his defense. I mean, I love Mo. He's a true pro, and you never guess he was 20 or 21 years old, whatever he is. And I know he'll make big contributions going forward. But, yeah, Mo's just been ready, and that's what you ask of a young player, just to stay ready.
Clay, the Kings appear to have made an adjustment, specifically the small ball. Did you guys have a little trouble with that, or was there something else there that, was causing issues?
Well, I mean, based off the 20-point loss, I think there is a safe answer of yes. But the playoffs are all about adjustments, and we'll make the necessary adjustments to win the game on Sunday.
Clay, what do you remember about that Game 7 on the road in Houston, 2018? It's the only time you've had a Game 7 on the road.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been a part of a few games. No, we had a Game 7 against the Clippers that we lost in 2014.
Yeah, that one, it was Steve era, but yeah.
I remember it was just a gutsy performance by Steph, by Kevin, Draymond. Nick Young hit a big bucket. I mean, I was in foul trouble, but stayed ready, hit some big buckets to the end. I just remember how hostile the environment was. They wanted to see their team go to the finals for the first time since probably, I think, 94 it was. And it's going to be the same type of environment on Sunday, but we've been through it all and we know what to expect. And we would like to come out on top.
You mentioned defending champions. Do you ever allow yourself to think about the other stuff that might be at stake? Draymond could be a free agent, Bob Myers, whether this stays together, whether it should stay together?
Nah, that's not my job to speculate. My job is just to get ready, play to the best of my ability, and have fun while doing it, and just play my heart out every time I step on that floor and put the Warriors uni on.
Steph, just from observing, it did not look like the energy level was real big from you guys, from the crowd at all, and that definitely the Kings had more energy. Did you feel that? Was it just a little flat for you guys in the beginning?
I mean, we didn't execute the way we wanted to. I don't know how it looked on the court. Obviously, you're in the fight and you're trying to, bring that competitive spirit, knowing how tough a closeout game is and knowing that they were going to play with a lot of desperation. We just had a lot of kind of mental errors, and they took advantage of it and grabbed momentum early. I don't know if that was an energy thing or a focus thing or whatever it was, but you have to be able to learn those lessons quick because we put ourselves in a situation where we have to be the team that's playing with desperation, obviously on the road in a Game 7. And there's a lot of belief that we can do that. There's a lot of belief in every single guy that's going to be out there on the floor that we can make the necessary adjustments. And if it is an energy thing, that's something that you can control and correct it. So you got to embrace the challenge of what's in front of us. And try to go get the job done.
Go ahead. Knowing how much you guys wanted to win this game and close it out, being at home, how concerned are you that some of the things you just mentioned were not where they needed to be to win the game?
I mean, a loss exposes a lot of things because, when you go look at the film and you see where the improvements need to be made, like you got to be honest with yourself around what it was. So I felt like we were all on the same page yesterday when we were kind of preparing for the game and understanding what the task at hand was. Just didn't do it. So I'm not concerned at all. It's just the playoffs presents a lot of challenges and a lot of different scenarios you find yourself in, and the great teams figure it out. And, that's the opportunity that's in front of us. I keep saying it's an opportunity because we have another game to play. We allowed ourselves, at least that. And now we have to, again, take advantage of the get right game and knowing how hostile that environment's going to be. Come with the right focus, come with the right mentality, and like I said, I got the utmost faith that we can do it.
Yeah, I got two quick. They went small and spread it out. How did that really kind of change the environment of the series? How did that affect the game?
And they made some nice adjustments to try to, like you said, give their guards, Fox, Monk, give them space to try to drive. Keegan got loose early. Herder hit some shots, late. And it was a different look, so they have the ability to do that with certain personnel, and they push those buttons and it works. So we have to be able to make the adjustments because you assume it's going to be the same or a similar vibe. So that's the fun part about a series. You see a little bit of everything, and that's why there's 7 games.
They've also been pretty transparent about they're just trying to run as much as possible. And these now at the end of the series, it's a lot shorter between games, including 12:30 tip Sunday. Was there any extra fatigue today with the style of play of the series, and also obviously a much quicker turnaround?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you had to ask everybody individually. It felt great and know we can keep up with that pace if we play with our brains at the same time and understand how we can be effective on the defensive end, not turn the ball over, and just connect the game a little bit better than we did tonight. It's very indicative of just whatever was lacking in the first play of the second half. Nobody got matched up. Keegan Murray's wide open for 3. Like, that's not pace thing. That's just being connected. So those are the little things you're going to have to fix if we want to get out of the series, and I know we can.
Steph, what do you say to someone like Jordan right now?
We need him, and he's more than capable, and he's shown the ability to impact games. And the biggest thing for all of us, JP included, is that next play mentality that is so important, at this level, not just in the 82-game schedule, but also, in a playoff series where you don't have to be kind of a victim of the last game. You always can kind of bounce back. And I have nothing but confidence in his ability to do that and understand, to bring the right energy for this next game. So, we've all kind of been there and been through those growing pains of a playoff experience, and it happens. But we all can play better, and we all got to play better if we're going to win on Sunday.
Steph, you guys haven't had a Game 7 on the road very often. Do you remember your last one in Houston? And can you take something out of that?
I mean, yes and no. There's only a few guys on this team that were in that scenario, but every possession is important. How you start, how you think your way through the game, staying locked in on the schemes that we're gonna come with for the night. But it's more so just the competitive spirit. Like, you don't got to overthink it either. It's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just that it's the last game for one of these two teams, and coming out with a sense of composure is a big thing, especially if you're on the road, because it's going to be hostile, and their crowd's going to be into it, and there's going to be runs both ways. Just stay locked in, stay composed. But it's just basketball, and just play.
Steph, well, I just wanted to get your assessment of Malik Monk, because he's their energy guy. Trey Lyles, did some things there in that second quarter, but Monk, he did talk about desperation yesterday in Sacramento about this game here, but he brought it tonight. Just wanted to get your thoughts about him as a professional player.
I mean, he's been an X factor in their wins, and when we've contained him, I think most of those games we've come out with the win. Even Game 5, he got hot a little bit down the stretch, but the first half we kind of kept him in check. So it's just a matter of lock it in on his energy. He comes in, he plays aggressive, he looks to score. He was hitting his threes tonight. We kind of gave him too many open looks, so you obviously have to key in on him. And the way that they mixed up their lineup, he's featured a lot more, so got to make the adjustments.
Hey, Steph, do you want to talk about the free throw you missed tonight? Do you guys under a lot of pressure tonight?
You said what?
Free throws you missed.
The free throws that I missed?
Yeah.
Oh, it happens.
Do you guys under a lot of pressure tonight?
No, it's more, that's basketball, and again, next play mentality. It's something I've lived by since, my days at Davidson, and carry that mentality. Miss free throws, lost, games that you lose, whatever, you have another opportunity to come back. So maintain the confidence in your abilities.
Hey, Steph, because it is a Game 7, just wondering, will you say anything to the guys to make sure that they're playing free and loose and not kind of feeling the pressure of a Game 7?
For sure. But that's to be expected, knowing what's at stake. And you just want to make sure everybody's on the same page about what we're trying to do out there. So it'll be a fun, 36 hours, whatever it is, to get ready for the game. Mentally, vocally, physically, everybody getting their rest, knowing it's going to be a dogfight, and we got to be ready for it.
You mentioned coming out with a sense of composure, and at times throughout this season, that's kind of been an issue, setting the tone early and stuff. How do you just ensure that you guys do get off on the right foot and don't, play catch up?
Whoever our starting five is, it's on us to set the tone for how we're playing and accept the responsibility of that. And again, play with a sense of desperation, but a sense of, I use the word composure, because that is, you don't want to get too riled up and get outside of yourself. Like I said, it's just basketball. We know what to do. We have an identity of who we are when we're playing our best basketball, and if we can find that, I like our chances. And that's all you can think about. So that's the message. That's the goal, and it's gonna be fun. Like, embrace it. We're still playing basketball and still have an opportunity to get out this series.